Hello everybody and welcome back again. My name is Steven and welcome back to the PBE rundown. So in today's video, as you guys should know if you watched the earlier video, I covered all the items that have been changed for AD carries. Now I'll be talking about the extra changes to items and how they have all been affecting how we've been playing the game. So let's start off with the ability power items, shall we? Or mages. So, mages have had a huge type of nerf in this patch, just because of the fact that basically everything's gone up in gold, and there hasn't been any buffs to the actual items themselves. So first of all, you have Lunan's Echo, has gone up by 200 gold, Runan's Death Cap has gone up by 300 gold, Armseeker's Guard's ability power has gone down by 5, and the armor has gone down by 5, Zonia's Hourglass has gone up in gold by 500, which is really fucking stupid in gold pricing. And the armor has gone down by 5. Archangel's Staff has gone up by 100 gold. Rod of Ages has gone up by 300 gold. And the ability power has been buffed up by 20, which is actually really nice. But it doesn't really give you a lot of stats because of the whole buff up in the gold pricing. Crystal Scepter has gone up by 200 gold. Hunter's Guide has gone up by 100 gold. Torment has gone up by 200 gold. Will of the Ancients has gone down by 200 gold, which is actually really nice. It's the only item really that's been actually buffed, really. Same for Medjai's. Athene's Unholy Grail has gone up by 100 gold. Medjai's has actually been buffed this patch, which is actually really nice. So there's a new starting item called the Dark Seal, which I'll talk about a bit later on. And so basically, that plus 1,000 gold is the new builds into this. Now it gives you 200 mana, and the unique passive Do or Die grants 4 glory per champion kill or 2 glory per assist, up to 25 glory. Upon dying, you lose 10 stacks of glory, and this glory grants 5 ability power per glory, and it grants you 10% movement speed if you have at least 15 glory, which is actually really nice because if you do the whole maths and stuff, it actually gives you quite a lot of AP, but the only time when it's actually worth the gold is when you actually have about, I'll say from 15 upwards is actually worth the gold. Below that, it is really crap for the amount of gold it costs. So as long as you're nice and fed, Medjai's is actually a really strong item, just like it used to be, but even better. Next up is Void Staff. Void Staff has gone up by 150 gold. Abyssal Scepter has gone down by 100 gold, which is actually really nice. But to be fully honest, I can't really see this being built that very often. Lichbane has gone up by 200 gold, and the cooldown reduction has been, added, which is now 10%, and the movement speed has gone up by 2%, which is actually really nice for the gold increase. So this item should be a little bit better. Now, it wasn't very often we'll see this item on the likes of Diana Mid, TF. So those types of champions that had actually a bit of a buff because of Lichbane. Next up is Stinger. Stinger has gone down by 50 gold, and it gives 10% more attack speed, which is actually really nice on the champions like Diana, because Diana's really the only mage that really benefited from this. Same for Azir as well. Nash's Tooth has had 10% added to its attack speed, which is again the same as the Stinger. The next items is the defensive items. So Glacial Shroud has gone up by 100 gold. Warden's Melial gives you less armor by 5. Frozen Heart has been increased in gold by 200. Randuin's Omen has been buffed up in gold pricing by 300 gold. And it only gives you now 450, which is still a buff by 50, but for the whole gold enpricement by 300, 50 health is not worth it. Like, at all. But I guess the passive actually is a bit more useful now since 80 carries are critting at 100%, so still a really nice item. Thornmail has been increased by 50 gold. Deadman's Plate has been increased by 50 gold. Quicksilver's Sash has been increased by 50 gold. Spectre's Crowl has been increased by 100 gold, and it gives you 5 5% or 5 less magic resist. Banshee's Veil has been increased by 200 gold. This time now it gives you an extra 50 health and 10 more magic resist. Spirit Visage has been gone up in by 100 gold. Health has been up by 100. Magic resist has gone up by 10. Banshee's Cinder has been increased by 100 gold. Warmog's Armor has been increased by 100 gold, and it gives you 50 more health. Sunfire Cape has been increased by 100 gold, and it gives you 50 more health. Guardian's Angel has been increased by 100 gold, it gives you 10 more armor and 10 more magic resist. Ages of the Allegiant has been decreased in gold by 100, and it gives you 5%, well 5 less magic resist aura. The Locket of Iron Solari now has been decreased in gold by 150. Actually no, I'm sorry about that, 250. I need to do my maths, god damn. Jungle items have a little bit of a change. So starting off with the old jungling item, the Hunter's Machete, it has been decreased in gold by 50. However, no longer grants 15 bonus gold on large minion kills, and no longer burns monsters or gives regeneration when hit by monsters. However, it now gives you 8% lifesteal versus monsters and a new unique passive called Nail. Basic attacks deal 20 bonus damage on hit versus monsters. Killing large monsters grants 15 bonus experience, which because of the whole jungle nerfs, this is nothing. It's still really bad. Hunter's Talisman is the new jungling item. Now, what this gives is, it costs 350. However, this actually takes what the old one had and gives it onto this one, practically, is what I like to think of it. But basically, mana regeneration now is being added to it at 150% while in the jungle. And a unique passive is called Tooth. Damaging a monster, steals 20 health over 5 seconds. Killing the large monster grants 15 bonus experience. Again, not that much. The Seamaster's Scaber has gone increased by 200 gold. The lifesteal is 10% versus monsters. Mana regeneration is 150 while in the jungle. The two effects that I said was removed from the old jungle item is again removed off this one. And the passive of called Tooth and Nail has been added to this one, so that's both of the jungle items unique passives have been added to it, and the cost has gone down by 55, which is the side grade cost. So if you add a jungling item and you want to switch which one you have, this is now cost you less gold to switch, basically. The next item is Stalker's Blade. So this has all the same effects. So it's not too much. It's just that the unique passive this one has and the other one has is the same. It's just the overall, just the things overall changed, really. However, the new jungling upgrade, which is actually taking the place of the counter jungling item, which I can't remember, Poacher's Knife, that's it. So this one costs 150 gold, just like the other ones. Gives you the same effects. The only thing that's unique about this one is the unique passive being called Warding Miner. And this consumes a charge to place a stealth ward that reveals the surrounding area for 150 seconds, holds up to 2 charges, which refill upon visiting the shop. So as you guys should know, a lot of junglers last season would buy Tracker's Knife. Well, wouldn't buy Tracker's Knife, they would buy Sightstone to help with the jungling and just to help the team out in general. So popular junglers like Lee Sin and Rek'Sai would do that a lot. Now, this actually helps them out because it means that they no longer need to waste a spot in their build for a Sightstone anymore. They can just buy this item and it gives them the wards that they need. The next item is Runeglaive. So Runeglaive has had a little bit of a change. It now costs a lot more gold. It's gone up to 2,675 from 2,250, which is actually quite a lot. And the ability power has been reduced by 10, and the mana has been increased by 50, which is actually not too bad, but overall a huge nerf to Runeglaive. Next up is Cinderhulk. Cinderhulk has now gone up in price, just like Runeglaive, to the same price. The Warrior enchantment has also been increased to the same price, and the attack damage has gone up by 15, and the armor penetration has been removed. Devourer has once again been increased by gold, but this time instead of going to 2,625, it's gone up to 2,450, so less gold for it. However, the attack speed has gone down by 10, and the sated on-hit magic damage has been increased by 10, which is not too bad. I don't think this item is still that good, because I never really liked Devourer in the first place, but hey-ho. Next up is the support. So the support items have gone down in price, so the ancient coin has gone down by 15 gold, and it gives you 4 gold when nearby minion dies. The Nomad's Medallion has removed the movement speed, and the gold passive regeneration has been removed as well. The base health regen has gone up by 25, and the gold generation has been increased to 6 gold whenever a minion dies, and the gold has been decreased by 15 as well. Talisman of Ascension has been lowered in cost by 100, movement speed has been removed, the gold passive regeneration has been removed, the gold generation when an nearby minion dies has been increased to 6, and the cooldown has been increased by 20 seconds. Relic Shield again has been decreased in cost. A new passive has been added, so 2 gold per 10 seconds. Targon's Brace again been decreased in gold. However, the passive gold generation is the exact same as the Relic Shield, and the Face of the Mountain is the exact same as the other two. However, this has a new passive called Witness Me. Face of the Mountain's active shield's detonation now slows nearby enemies by 40% for 2 seconds instead of dealing damage, which has always bothered me. Why did a support item do damage? It doesn't make sense. But at least they fixed that now. It no longer does damage, it actually slows. Next up is Spell Thief's Edge. Again, been increased in gold, and the amount of gold you get per attack on a champion or a structure has gone up by 3, so it's now 8. Frost Fang, has been decreased in gold. The ability power has been increased by 5. Base mana regen has been increased by 50%, and the damage, when you damage something, a champion or a tower, or other types of structures, you now gain an extra 5 gold, so it's 15 instead of 10. The next one, Frost Queen's Claim. The cost has been static, not changed at all. Base mana regen has been increased by 100. The amount of gold you get for attacking a champion or structure has been increased by 5, so it's now 15%. The unique active, which is the Arctic Embrace, is now gone. However, it now summons 2 Icy Ghosts for 2 seconds that seek out nearby enemy champions. Ghost reveals them on contact to reduce the movement speed by 40% for 4 seconds. So basically, this is now the Twin Shadows effect on this item. Next up is the Argent Cancer. They've basically increased this by 100 gold, and that's it. The Crucible has been decreased in gold by 150, and it gives you 5 less magic resist. Seek's Harbinger has been increased by 100 gold, and that's it. So they're all the new items, and now there's been some changes to other items. Vision items has been slightly changed. So Vision Wards now cost 75 gold rather than 100. Stealth Wards are no longer viable. Stealth Wards duration has been decreased to 150, and upon deaths or just expiring, they now leave behind rubble, which has a little icon above them showing which team they are, which lasts up to 5 minutes, which actually basically tells the other team or your team your whole warding patterns and generally where a ward would be and where they need to use a scrying or not scrying, or the red trinket. I can't remember what it's called. Next up is Insightful. Wards now indicate the vision range while being placed, which is actually not that bad, but again, if you've been playing the game quite a bit, you would already know how big the range of them are. Sightstone has a bit of a change. It now only gives you 3 wards, which is actually worse off, but at the same time good, because it seems a little bit pointless that you add an extra ward for nothing, because you could only have 3 down in the map anyway. Next up is, in addition to Ruby Sightstone, can now combine with tier 2 support items, Frostfang and Nomad's Medallion, which is actually really nice. And Ruby Sightstone has been increased by gold by 200, the amount of health has been increased by 100, and the items' actives cooldowns are reduced by but not 100, by 10%, which is really good. And it now gives you 4 trinkets instead of 5. So it's just the old Sightstone, practically. Now, the new support items. So, as you guys should know, above here when I was talking about the items, the final items are no longer needing to be brought, because each one now builds into one of these. So, you've got the Eye of the Watcher, the Eye of Osis, and the Eye of Equinox. These are basically just the old ones. So, the Frostfang is the Watchers, the Nomad's Medallion is the Osiris, and the Target's Embrace is the Equinox. So instead of getting the final one to get the unique bonus on them, like the shield, the slow, the movement speed, you know, that type of thing, you can upgrade these ones into these ones instead, which actually saves a bit of space into your inventory, because you don't need a Sightstone anymore, because these are your Sightstone. That's what they are. They add on to the old support items, but adds the effect of the Sightstone rather than the unique passive that they would have previously. Trinkets have been a little bit of a change. Purchasing, upgrading, or switching between trinkets no longer costs gold, which is actually really nice. I never understood why they did cost gold, because they were kind of crappy. Switching between the Warden line and Sweeper line, put your trinket on cooldown for 2 minutes. However, if you upgrade a warding trinket into another warding trinket, it would not put it on cooldown, but if you were switching from a warding to a sweeping, then it will. Now, this stuff has been removed. The Scrying Orb has been removed. How? Because a new Vision Ward has been added, which is now basically just this. It's just basically the Farsight Ward. It's the Farsight Orb, basically. So, AD carries will get that one still, instead of getting the Farsight Orb. And it's actually a lot better, because the Scrying Orb would allow you to see in a bush without face checking, and the Farsight Orb will allow you to ward at range. However, the ward will be a bit shit, and it will die off eventually. This one now is basically a unlimited ward, which will stay around, but it's just the crappy Farsight ward, which will just die in one hit. Next up is the Warden Totem line. So the Warden Totem is basically not been changed all that much. So the Greater Stealth and the Greater Vision totems have been removed. However, it could store up to 2 wards at once, which is really nice. And the vision duration is from 60 to 120 seconds based at your level. And the cooldown charge now gives you a new charge at 180 seconds to 120 seconds based on your level as well. And this is the one thing I was talking about. The Farsight Orb is the Farsight Adulation. At level 9, you can either alter your Warden Totem into a Farsight Totem. Once altered, Farsight Totem place a visible 1 health ward from far away, briefly revealing the area. And the cooldown is 40% of the Warden Totem's cooldown, so that's 61 to 48 seconds, based from level 9 to 18. The range is 4,000 units. It never dies, and the special thing is the Farsight Totem ward doesn't count against your ward limits, which is actually quite nice, but then again, because you're buying this mostly on AD carries, you won't be placing wards anyway, really. So it's not really going to affect you. Sweeping Lens has been slightly changed. So in addition to disabling wards, Sweeping Lens will now spawn warding particles over units it finds that you can't see. So that's champions, pink wards, blah blah blah. The range has been increased based on your level, so from 500 to 2000. The cooldown is 90 to 60 seconds based on your level as well. And the size, so how much range it covers, is 450 to 575, again based on level. The next upgrade for it, at level 9, you can alter it into a special version, which basically means that it no longer grants true sight. In addition, it does the same thing as what previous does, and the size is increased by 50. And it basically just hovers around your head and you walk around with it. The next thing is starting items. So these are basically the same. Increased 10 gold on most of these. So Doran's Shield, just cost increase. Doran's Blade, again, cost increase. Gives you 10 extra health and 1 extra damage. Doran's Ring now gives you 50% mana regeneration instead of 3 per 5 seconds. The new Dark Seal, which is just a Magi's starting item, is 400 gold. 15 ability power, 100 mana, 25 bonus healing from potions, and the new passive is the whole glory thing, which is the Magi's. The new AD carry starting item is called Cull, but at the moment it's crap. It gives you 450 gold, 5 attack damage, 3 life on hit, and killing a minion grants 1 extra gold. Once you killed 100 minions, it grants an extra 300 gold, and it disables the passive. The health potions now cost 50 gold, and you're only limited to 1 type of healing potion. The refillable potion is 150 gold and consumes a charge at 100 health over 10 seconds. Hunter's Hunter's potion, which is the jungling one, 400 gold. It's refillable, fucking hell, and it consumes a charge, restores 60 health and 35 mana over 8 seconds. Large minions grant 1 charge, la la la. Corrupting potion is basically just corrupts the people and la di da. It's a lot of these potions have not really changed. Elixir of Ruin removed. Iron gives you now 300 health. The gold has been increased. The size it gives you has been reduced. The sorcery one has been increased by gold, more AP, and the wrath has been increased by gold, more attack damage. The healing bit has now been increased to 15% of all physical damage dealt. However, they've removed kills and assists, no longer extend the duration. Boots have basically stayed the same, they've just been slightly tweaked. The only one that's really useful, well, the one I want to talk about is Lucidity, because it now actually gives you a 10% cooldown on summoner spells, which is actually fucking fantastic. The enchantments have again not changed. However, we want to note the Home Guard enchantment is planning on being removed because they are planning at a certain time of the game. They're going to give you basically Home Guard for free. Next up, there's a few new items called Death's Dance, Hex Drinker, more is. These basically are just like upgraded items, but these items are not really too much of a change. They're just, again, just like everything. It's mainly just gold changes and stuff to more of these items. And if you guys want to cover these in a lot more detail, I recommend go to the patch notes. If I remember, I'll leave a link in the description to use patch notes, but go look at them because I'm going to end today's video here because I think I've talked about them a little too much. I should have not really talked about a lot of them because they're just numbers changes, really. Well, not numbers, they're just gold changes. But if you guys want to see these little changes, then go ahead and check out the patch notes. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video. Remember to check back tomorrow about the extra little small changes. And for now, I'll see you all next time. Until then, everyone. Bye!